Hi everybody, welcome back to 100% Mugs. So I hope you're all staying safe out there. So this is going to be a video weighing up the differences between Pochettino, the favourite for the Newcastle United job once the new potential owners come in, and of course Steve Bruce, the current Newcastle United manager at this moment in time. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into the video. So first off, we're going to look at Steve Bruce's side of his managerial career, and of course we'll start off way back in 1998, and it is the 2nd of July 1998, and of course Steve Bruce's first job as a manager, and that was Sheffield United, where he stayed until the 17th of May 1999, and in that moment in time he had 55 games managed. He won 22, drew 15 and lost 18, with a win percentage of 40%. Then he went on, of course, in the 24th of May 1999 to the 16th of October 2000, where he went on to manage Huddersfield Town, managing, of course, 66 games, winning 25, drawing 16 and losing 25, with a 37.9% win ratio. So, of course, not as great as his first managerial job at Sheffield United, where, of course, he had a win percentage of 40%. So he had dropped down to 37.9. Moving on, of course, to his third job in management, and that was Wigan Athletic. And the first time he managed Wigan Athletic, as he did go back to them for his second managerial career. And of course, the first time he was there was the 4th of April 2001 to the 29th of April 2000, before, of course, jumping ship to Crystal Palace, but we'll get to that in a moment. And on his first reign at Wigan Athletic, he managed to manage 8 games, 3 wins, 2 draws and 3 losses, with a 37.5% win ratio this time round. So he had dropped down even further from his first managerial job at Sheffield United. Moving on, of course, to the Crystal Palace one, on the 31st of May 2001 to the 2nd of November 2001, he was Crystal Palace manager. In that time, he managed 18 games with Crystal Palace, 11 of them being wins, 2 being draws and 5 losses. That means that he did go up by quite a bit from the 37.5% win ratio that he had at Wigan Athletic in the same season. He went up to his 61.1% win ratio. So that is, of course, at the moment, his best season as a manager in football. And if you look at his Birmingham City season, which this is around the same time that Freddie Shepherd tried to get him to join Newcastle as the manager to replace Bobby Robson, and he was there from the 12th of December 2001 right the way up until the 23rd of November 2007. So he managed to keep this job much longer. But of course, any Birmingham fans that might watch this video, let us know down in the comments below. But I do believe he didn't do that well of a job, as you know, Birmingham City did manage to start struggling after he got linked with the job at Newcastle on 2 occasions as well. As soon as got the sack, he got linked with it again whilst he was still at Birmingham City. But he only managed a 37% win ratio this time round, being at Birmingham City. Moving on, of course, to his second reign at Wigan Athletic, where he managed to stay at Wigan from the 26th of November 2007 to the 3rd of June 2009. He managed 68 games with Wigan, 23 of them being wins, 17 being draws, and 28 losses. Now, that means that he took a massive dip from that 61.1% win ratio that he had at Crystal Palace and the 37% win ratio that he had at Birmingham City. And that means that he went down to a 33.8% win ratio. Then, of course, he left there and he ended up going to Sunderland, where he managed Sunderland from the 3rd of June 2009 to the 30th of November 2011. And of course, we all know what happened at Sunderland. He wasn't great there, and they ended up having a 29.6% win ratio. He did when he was the manager, with him managing 98 of their games, only 29 wins in 98 games, with 28 draws and 41 losses. Any Sunderland fans that might be watching, yes, can vouch for how bad Steve Bruce really was as a manager. Moving on to his Hull City days. Now, I've got to say, his Hull City days probably were his best managerial days, up there with Birmingham City, because if you look at his honours when he was a manager at Birmingham City, he did get them to a playoff place in 2002, and he did come runners up in the Championship as well in 06-07, so it wasn't all bad during his time at Birmingham City. But you look at his Hull City one, and he came runners up in the 12-13 season in the Championship. He came runners up in the FA Cup in the 13-14 season, and he came with a Championship playoff place in 2016. Now, putting that up against Pochettino, who's only managed, of course, 3 teams, and them 3 teams, of course, being Espanyol, Southampton, and Tottenham Hotspur. You look at Pochettino's win ratio in his first job, and he came out with a 32.9% win ratio. Now, you've got to remember that is La Liga, and Steve Bruce was managing Sheffield United, which I believe at that point in time were playing Championship football. Correct us if I'm wrong down in the comments below, but I do believe they were playing Championship football at that point in time, and to come away with a 40% win ratio in the Championship isn't really great. Whilst Pochettino with a 32.9% win ratio while managing Espanyol, against the likes of Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Valencia, and he was managing them in the 20th of January 2009 right the way up to the 26th of November 2012. So there was a lot of really great players playing in La Liga at that point. Of course, Messi, Ronaldo, I believe Bale was even playing in La Liga at that point as well. And then, of course, you look at his move from La Liga to the Premier League, and his first job in the Premier League was, of course, Southampton, where his first season in the Premier League, he managed to bag himself a win ratio of 38.3%. Then, of course, he did the groundwork and laid the groundwork at Southampton. Had some fantastic players come through the youth academy there as well during his time as manager. Of course, Virgil van Dijk, Sadio Mane, I believe even Adam Lallana, and that was come through as well at that point in time. All, of course, now playing for Liverpool. And then you look at his Tottenham managerial career, and he was there from the 27th of May 2014 right the way up until the 19th of November last year, where he managed 293 games with Tottenham, 159 wins, 62 draws and 72 losses, and a win percentage of 54.3%, with that added up over his total of his career, of course, comes to a 45.7% win ratio, up against Steve Bruce's 38.4% win ratio. Of course, Pochettino's only had 3 jobs, where Steve Bruce has had 11 teams managed from 1998 all the way up to present. And of course, Pochettino started his managerial career in 2009 after retiring as a player, and he, in 10 years, Pochettino has made a name for himself in the world of football, and he is one of the most sought after managers in the world of football right now, with Man United after him. You've got Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus, Bayern Munich, loads and loads of clubs after Pochettino, and Newcastle United are now adding our name to that list, and the Saudis want Pochettino as their next manager to manage Newcastle United, and they want Steve Bruce out the door. Now, looking at the managerial honours, you've got Pochettino coming in with a runners-up medal for the League Cup in the 14-15 season, and of course the big one for Pochettino, which was runners-up medal for the 18-19 season, where he managed to guide Tottenham all the way to the Champions League final against Liverpool, only for Liverpool to pip Tottenham to that prestigious title that one day, Newcastle will hopefully be back there playing for, hopefully sometime soon under these potential new owners. And like I say, looking at the honours, you've got Steve Bruce. Like I said, he ended up with the First Division playoff place in 2002 for Birmingham City, and of course the runners-up in the 06-07 season for Birmingham City as well. Then you've got Hull with a runners-up in the 12-13 season, runners-up for the FA Cup in the 13-14 season, and a Championship playoffs place in the 2016 season. Now, let me know down in the comments below, which one would you personally take as your next Newcastle United manager, because just looking at them stats, and looking at what both managers have done over their careers, of course Steve Bruce having a much longer career than Pochettino, but that's kind of obvious at the end of the day. I would personally go with Pochettino myself, but let me know what you think down in the comments below, and as always, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time. Bye the lads.